Hey, my name is Isra, and I'm going to be doing a video today on Civilization 4, and it's kind of I wouldn't say beginner, but more like a fundamentals, focus on the fundamentals style of video. So I will not play the whole game. The goal is to play something like the first 100 hands, or 100 turns, and maybe up to about 180. So just really the early game, which is the most important part of the game. And it's also the most difficult generally to master. So if you're like coming from Civ 5, 6, the game is quite different, and I find it a little bit more challenging. Or if you're just new to the game, hopefully you'll get something out of this video. So I will play a little bit slower than I do in kind of more of the let's play games I play, and try to explain some kind of the basics of what I'm thinking and how the game works. So yeah. So yeah, just start a new game. I will choose a Pangea map. It's a good map for learning. You don't have to worry about barbarians as much because usually you have neighbors who can help with that. And also you can kind of ignore some of the naval part of the game until you sort of grasp more of the fundamentals. So I think it's a good map to learn on. I'll just choose like pretty standard settings, standard map size. This is, you can choose, I actually find natural looks the prettiest, so I'll choose natural shoreline. And I'll try to pick a good leader, somebody who's got good traits, and it'll kind of easier leader to play, I guess. I think Egypt's pretty good. Could do Egypt. Actually, maybe I'll do the Maya. So, yeah, let's go with this. He's a strong leader. Yeah, in terms of difficulty, I'll actually play the second hardest difficulty, Immortal. I could play definitely on a lower level if there's interest in the future, but that's usually I play Immortal or Deity. But I think conceptually everything is the same. Cool. So I'll first start talking a little bit about the leader. So Pacal is a very strong leader in the game. I would say he's one of the top 10 leaders in the game. And the first thing in this game, maybe compared to some of the newer games of Civ, is you really need to play the leader's traits, especially their traits, a little bit less so their unit and building, which is a little less important, but playing the traits and the map, the type of map you're at, and your opponents, and the sort of type of land resources you have is really important in this game. So as you'll see, like the strategy is going to really depend on all those things, and you can't just use the same, research the same set of technologies and build the same like 3 buildings and you're good. The game doesn't really work like that. It's a lot more situational, which I find a lot more fun. Yeah, so I'll first talk about his traits, expensive and financial. Where's Pacal? Cool. So first I'll talk about expensive. I think it's one of the top 3 traits in the game. If you go in here, you can see all the different traits. I would say expensive is a top 3 trait, along with financial and I'd say philosophical. Although spiritual, I think, is really close to philosophical, in my opinion. Yeah, so what does expensive give you? So +2 health, which helps in the late game because you tend to have factories or a lot of health issues because your population gets bigger and you have more unhealthiness. Your unhealthiness goes up as your population of the city goes up. So useful in the late game, not really a factor in the early game. We're focusing on the early game, so I'll focus on the next 2, which are really nice properties of the trait. So 25% faster worker. So that means typically your worker will take 15 turns at the beginning of the game, and this means you'll get it for 12 turns, which is actually a huge deal. And the second really nice thing is the cheap granary. Granary is by far, I would say, the best building in the game, pretty clearly. You grow twice as fast, essentially, from each population, which is really not a stronger building in the game. So yeah, not much else to say except you get this for 30 hammers instead of 60 hammers. And so yeah, really nice of the expansive. You also get the cheaper harbors. Harbors are pretty good buildings, you get a little bit more commerce on your trade routes, which can be good in the later game when you have like overseas trade routes and stuff. And it gives you health. It's I'd say the best health building in the game in terms of the amount of health you get relative to the cost and the hammers, and it comes pretty early in the tech tree at Compass, so you can usually build this in like the Middle Ages, but won't really come in this video because I'll focus on the first like 100 turns, which is really when the game is won, or at least the game is set up to win. So that's expansive, I think, very strong trait. And the second one, financial, which is a pretty easy trait to play. You don't need to actually do anything except work tiles that have 1 commerce, and then they automatically get 2. So you're getting commerce for free. Cool. So that's his traits, very strong. His starting technologies are on the weaker side, though. So mysticism, I think, is, I'd say, the worst starting tech you can start with. It's a little more expensive than something like hunting or fishing, but it's less useful. Generally, there's like 4 tech paths you can think of in the early game. There's the tech paths to sort of writing, the sort of economic. Then there's sort of the animal husbandry, horseback riding, which is more military. Then there's like mining, bronzeworking, which is a combination of military and production. And then the 4th is you kind of go mysticism, priesthood, or monotheism, kind of the religious path. You rarely go this path early. The exception might be, there's not many exceptions. It's like you might go for the oracle, which is a decent wonder in certain situations. Temple of Artemis is not something I would usually ever go for in the early game. And finding a religion is not usually something you want to do in the early game. You'd rather let the AI tech these. They tend to tech these early, and then get the religion. It will spread sort of organically once you meet other neighbors and you get trade connections. You'll get the religion from them. So it's generally better to do that. And also for like diplomacy, you want to kind of see what the diplomatic situation is, and then religion is a good way to like manipulate relations, and you can kind of get people to friendly and avoid a lot of your opponents not liking you because of you're in a different religion. So generally avoid these finding a religion, which I see is a pretty common, like more of a beginner mistake, I think. So mysticism, not a strong starting tech, but we'll have to work with it. Mining's pretty strong, so bronzeworking is extremely important early game, getting to bronzeworking, because you can chop forests, and even more importantly, you can go into slavery, which is the strongest early game civic. As I'll explain how the slavery thing works, it works a little different. Like, you don't really have this in later games, but it's a very strong early game tech because of that. Cool. Okay, so yeah, mysticism mining is a pretty good start. Generally, you want food in your capital city, and so corn's a very strong resource. It starts with +3 food, and because this corn is irrigated, because it's on a freshwater, it's on a river. When you improve this, it's actually +3, even though the game says it's +2 food. You get an extra food because it's on freshwater, so it's 6 food, 1 commerce. And that's an extremely strong tile because it will grow faster and you get an extra commerce. So first decision is, where do I settle the city? I see 2 options. So I can settle in place. So I'll get the corn. I have a lake here as well for additional fresh water. If I put a second city somewhere over here, I guess that wouldn't come into play, but a lake is a good tile. It because I'm financial, you get 3 commerce instead of normally this would be 1 commerce, but it's or 2 commerce, but then you get the extra 1. So it's a really good tile. Corn, this corn is a really great tile. So I think settling place is a reasonable option. The second option I would consider is go on this Plains Hill. When you go on the Plains Hill, you get normally your capital will have 2 food, 1 hammer, 1 commerce. Commerce is this thing. Commerce is different than gold. It's the game kind of, they're actually different, but commerce is the thing that you generate every turn by working a tile. So normally your capital will have 2 food, 1 commerce, and 1 hammer. But if you settle on a Plains Hill, you get 2 hammers. And what that means is the first build that you do, which is usually a worker, it's going to be faster because you're getting that extra hammer. So I mentioned earlier, workers usually 15 turns. If you start the worker right away, it's going to be 12 turns with expansive. And in addition, if you settle on a Plains Hill, I think it's going to be 10 turns for Pacal. So 10 turns versus 15 is actually a huge difference. It's just really hard to understate how much of a difference that can make. So I'm considering moving on the Plains Hill. I will lose a turn because I have to move, but I will get the worker fast earlier. And so I'm thinking moving on this hill would be a good idea. There's also, you want to see like what food I could be moving away from. I could be moving away from some food right there by going here. Also, there could be some kind of food resource there or there, which I would miss out. So I'm a little bit worried about moving away from, let's say there's another corn there, or it could be later like copper or something like that. So that's the risk of moving. I could try to go, I would like to not really know what's over here, but I don't really have a way with my warrior to scout. So I'll just move the warrior on the hill so I'll see more tiles. Okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely an option moving on the hill. But I would not, hate to move and then there's something strong here in the capital. And I already get a fast worker as expansive, so the extra hammer has a little bit more of a diminishing returns. If I was not expansive, I'd be much more likely, I think, to go here. So I'm just going to settle in place. It's 1 turn sooner. I don't want to really gamble. And the first thing you build generally is a worker. So I'll say 90% of the time in this game, you start with a worker. 95% of games. And the other 5%, it's going to be, if you get like a coastal start and you start with fishing, you may start with a fishing boat. And then very, very rarely, like definitely less than 5% or 1% of games, you might start with a settler. If your trade is imperialistic, so you get a faster settler and your land is really bad, but I think it's an exception. Majority of the time you start with a worker. And in this case, I'm going to tech agriculture first. You generally want to first, the sort of priority of what you should focus on in the game is first food, then production meaning hammers, and then commerce in the early game, very roughly. Although food is both production, it is production once you get to slavery, because essentially you convert excess food into production by whipping units or buildings. So cool. Yeah, definitely I'm playing a lot slower than I normally would, but I think, yeah, hopefully you find this helpful, and this is kind of the most important part of the game. Another kind of tip, which it's not really a beginner thing, but you can wait 5 turns before you choose which technology you want to research. And what that the reason you do that is if I meet another AI who has already researched agriculture, like agriculture is one of the 6 starting tech, so a lot of AIs will actually start with it. And if you meet them in the first 5 turns, you'll get a small bonus in terms of this will be a little bit faster for you to research. I believe it's 5% for each civ that you've met, something like that. So I will not select it, although in this case, I'm almost certainly going to go with agriculture. Nothing's really going to make me change my mind. It's pretty bad land over here, although there is stone, which is a nice resource if I want to build the pyramids. And if you're coming from like Civ 5, for example, or Civ 6, I haven't played that much of Civ 6, but something like Civ 5, that game, you're generally encouraged to go and explore. I actually can't remember if I turned off... I usually turn off tribal villages in the game. I guess I kept them on in this game. That's okay. Generally, I play with them off because they're kind of random, and I prefer to see like how I'm doing in the game. But this game more favors don't go exploring all over the map. Just try to stay close to the sort of capital city and prevent barbarians from spawning, and just try to see what's near your land, which is worth settling for future cities. So you don't want to be like sending your warrior on a long trek. I would like to know a little bit more about this map. Like, I see a river down here which looks worth exploring, because I'd like to think about putting a city down there. The north doesn't look as interesting. I don't see any rivers or resources that I might want to go for, so I will scout a little bit more in the south, and then, you know, after about turn 15 on Immortal, you'll start to see more barbarians show up. And so this would be a good spot to fog bust. Okay, so I met Mansa Musa, who's a pretty strong AI. He's very peaceful, but he's a very strong techer, so... And if I check the espionage, he's putting all of his spy points on me, which means he hasn't met anybody else yet. But this is a Pangea map, so we expect to meet lots of people. And there is actually a tribal thing there. I'm actually going to ignore it and see. So yeah, we know he's in this direction. And that looks like pretty good land over here. Pig is a very strong food, and gold is extremely strong commerce. So this could definitely be a second or third city. I'm already hitting the tundra, which means I'm in the south of the map. Which means barbarians are going to be more likely to spawn down here. So I would, once I can get another warrior or two, I would want them maybe try to prevent barbarians from spawning. I would like to still see this side of the map, but I'm kind of tempted to fog bust like here, because I really like this. Let's think about it. I would need to go tech animal husbandry, and it's not clear if I want to do that this early, but this would be a very strong spot with double gold and a strong food resource. It's a little far from my capital. You generally want to be like really close to the capital for your second city, for various reasons, like you'll save on maintenance. It's easier to defend against barbarians because you're like more compact, things like that. You don't have to build as many roads to connect the two cities for trade. So this could be a good spot, and also this desert is going to spawn a lot of scary stuff on Immortal. So land looks okay. I'm seeing both sheep and pig. So with two resources like that, my next two cities could definitely need animal husbandry. So I think that's an option, but I need to think about what I would want to do next. Fortunately, the mysticism doesn't help here, because it's really... I would much rather have a better technology like the wheel. Because with gold, you can connect the gold with the wheel, and then you get happiness as well, additional happiness. So I think I could either go bronze working or animal husbandry here. Potentially the wheel first. So I also think with Pacal, whose financial commerce won't be as difficult to obtain. And because of that, the gold is not as attractive, but it's definitely a very strong commerce spot if I'm working 1 pig, 2 gold. That's going to be 8 commerce actually with financial when I improve this. So that's like 816 commerce. And right now I'm only making 10 for my capital. So that's an absolute massive increase. And it makes getting this city spot really worth it, even though it's a little out of the way. The other places I would be looking to settle is along this river, because you get a natural trade connection. You don't need a lot of roads. And on river tiles, you get an extra commerce, so you get this +1 because you're on a river. So generally, you want to settle along rivers if you can. Yeah, and I'm thinking. So I think about what the worker is going to do. So he comes out in 6 turns, builds a farm. That will take 5 turns. So that's 11 turns from now. What do I want the worker to do next? I start with mining, so I could build a mine. I could build another farm, but this is a weak farm. It's only got 1 food. You could consider fishing, although I don't think it's a good idea, because if you research fishing, you can work this lake, which is 3 commerce, which is a strong commerce tile. But since I have gold and I'm not near any seafood, it would be, I think, not a good idea. So I think it's either the wheel, animal husbandry, or bronze working. I'm going to want all 3 in the early game, and I think it's just a matter of how soon I want each one. So I'm definitely thinking the gold second. Another thing is, if I go for the gold out here, this is like barbarian spawning territory, so I need to worry about defense. Although if I settle on a hill, I'll get 50% additional defensive bonus, which makes it easier to defend your city. But if an archer comes and goes on your golden hill, then it's kind of hard to get rid of them. So I need to think a little bit about what I'll do for defense. So I'm thinking, yeah, with a good amount of food like this, I would like to go into slavery and then whip. So one thing to think about early game is, how do I get the first settler? What's the fastest way to get the settler? So one way is you can just have like a lot of mines or something, or a lot of food, and then the settler is fast. The other way is I can maybe chop a forest to get hammers that way. 20 hammers per forest. The other way is I can go in slavery and then I can whip a settler, maybe at size 4. I think in this case I probably would like to whip a settler at size 4, I'm thinking, because I don't have very many good tiles besides the corn. So I could... Animal husbandry is also an expensive tech, so if I started it now, I'll have it by turn 22, which is more than enough to settle the pig. If I go bronze working first, it's going to be maybe 28. It'll be a little less, because you get some... Generally, you'll get some... somebody else would have researched it by then and stuff. The AI, if you've met like Mensa Musa. But it's roughly going to be quite a long time to get animal husbandry. And I'd like to get my settler here in... Definitely in like 20 turns or so, or less than that if I even... I do like going for bronze working, actually. Because what does a worker do? He builds a farm, so that's 11 turns, and I think I would then just build a mine. I also have double lakes, so actually fishing is an interesting thing to consider. Just because 2 lakes is really strong, but I also have double gold. Could go fishing. It's kind of out of the box, but fishing I get 6 commerce. That helps me get to bronze working and animal husbandry faster. No, I think I should. I think I'm just gonna go for bronze working. So then the worker can improve the corn, maybe build a mine, and then just start chopping. And chopping, so by that time I can also get maybe 2 more warriors out and then start on a settler, and then I can chop the settler. And once the settler's finished, it's a good time to go into anarchy, into slavery, while the settler is moving, because I'm not producing anything that important. So I think I'll go bronze working, although I think animal husbandry is a strong option. I also would like to know if I have copper to defend myself out here, and also against my neighbors who I haven't met yet, but you know they're not too far away on a Pangea. Okay. And here's a very unfriendly neighbor, Montezuma's. He has a very low peace weight, so he likes to go to war, although he might be a little farther away. I'm going to fog bust right here, or maybe here. Either one. They're both, I want like at least 2 warriors here, I think, for this large area, but I will fog bust here for now because that's where I want to go for my second city. And so yeah, it's kind of different than maybe other Civ games. Like, I'm not moving him very far from my territory because it's more about like developing your land and securing like the land nearby. Okay, Ramses. Another pretty peaceful guy. So 2 peaceful and then 1 psychopath. So it should be a fun game, but I think right now, sorry, I clicked out of the game for a second. Yeah, I think right now it doesn't really make a difference. We just focus on our own game. Okay, Boudica, another. She's kind of a mixed bag. The leaders definitely have personality in this game. She definitely likes to go to war, but you can also become friendly with her depending on things like religion, and she also tends to be a pretty good techer for whatever reason, even though her traits are like this charismatic and something else. But yeah, I think so. The worker is doing the most important thing first, which is get the food. And trying to get, now we have all these scouts, which means, this means that they're not too far away. And on a Pangea map, you want to expand as fast as possible because of that. So I think getting the gold, although there's, Mensa's not going to expand in this direction because there's a lot of distance. So I could probably get the gold third. And I would like to know how close Boudica or Montezuma is here, because I might want to go for the sheep next and then go the gold third. So I could go like here, for example. This would be a good place because you want to get your cities where the good resources are in the first tiles. So I have the sheep, and I actually think I could potentially go fishing, work these tiles. It's on fresh water, so I get additional health. There's wine for later. That might be a good spot too. So yeah, there's a lot to think about in the early game, but yeah, hopefully we can get a nice start. Okay, so she's helping me there. That's nice. Putting the scout. And this is how, like I mentioned on Pangea, it's a little bit easier to deal with barbs because you have people helping you. City's gonna grow next turn. Looks like I won against a wolf. Yeah, so I think what the plan now is build a mine. until I get bronze working, and then chop. Yeah, I think those are the best things you can do. Give it the woodsman promotion. So really nice looking land so far. I'd definitely want to scout more in the south, so I think I would send my second settler down here. Down here, maybe check out this side. Yeah, this game you kind of, especially early game, you want to pay attention to what tiles the city is working, and you try to work the best tiles. Generally, you want to work food. And hopefully we get copper. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, so one thing I didn't mention in the intro was the unique unit, which I probably should. So Pacal has a very strong unique unit. I think one of the strongest in the game. So he has a Hulken, which is a spearman, but it doesn't require metal. It just requires bronze working. So I completely forgot he has that. Really good unique unit, which means you can defend yourself with a spearman against barbs without even needing the metal connection and building a mine, etc. So should have actually considered that. But I think that just means I have a really easy way to defend myself from barbs this game by... and I also have copper too, so I can get that at some point, but in terms of for defending myself in the early game, I have everything I need. Yeah, and I think I want to get... But it's a Pangea, and I feel pretty secure here right now. So I don't think I would go hunting. Let me think. I could try to go hunting, get a Hulken, so I can defend myself a little bit better here. Also, if I go hunting, it makes animal husbandry cheaper. So for each tech where the arrow is going in, you get a 20% bonus when you're researching. So this 11 turns will actually be about 9 turns if I first research hunting. So it'll be like 5 plus 9 instead of just 11. So it would make this cheaper. It unlocks the unique unit, but it will delay my animal husbandry by about 11 turns. So I think I want to go... I think I want one more warrior though. I feel a little... With just one warrior coming out here with a... If an archer shows up here or something. I either want 2 warriors or I go 1 warrior and then Hulken. The problem is I want to also start a settler. And so I can't build the Hulken for 5 turns. And that will delay... And building that will delay getting a settler. So I think I'll just go animal husbandry and then get hunting after. I also want to get the wheel because I want to connect the cities. I want to get the happiness from the gold, but animal husbandry... Thinking I could even delay animal husbandry and just work the gold at size 1 for a while. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that actually. Yeah, so I'm going to do something it's a little bit... I think it's more advanced. It might be better. I could get animal husbandry, try to build the grow the pig. But it takes 11 turns, and I also want other stuff like hunting and the wheel. So if I go hunting wheel, that's like 13 turns. So by then I'll have a settler, and I can build a gold mine and just work a size 1 gold mine, which is a lot of commerce. And that commerce will help me tech animal husbandry a lot faster. And so I'll only be doing that for a little bit, and then I can improve the pig. I think that's actually might be better. I think it's a situation if I was playing offline, I would... If you want to learn, like one thing you can do is save the game here. Actually, I should save the game. Save the game here and try both from this point and see which one felt like was the better way. You could try both approaches. I won't do that here, but I will share the save game from the beginning if you want to try it out. Cool. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go wheel. I want to say wheel. Do I want to do wheel? Don't think I really need the wheel quite yet. But if I go hunting, then maybe maybe go try to get a Hulken out. The Hulken is 35 hammers, though. It's a lot of hammers. I'm just gonna go animal husbandry. I don't think I need the Hulken yet. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. This guy can chop and he can build gold mines. So there's plenty of things the worker can still do. Actually, wheel might actually be better. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the wheel. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the... Could go for a settler. With a chop, this would be maybe 7 turns. I'll save about 2-3 turns. Could do that. But since I'm not going for the Hulken, I want to get one more warrior just to feel... And I'd like to get this warrior... I'd like to grow a little bit faster than 5. But it looks like I can't. So... yeah, I'll at least get warriors and start putting hammers towards a settler. And now I want to chop. Yeah, these first few worker actions are like really important. You do the right, what you think is like the most important thing. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit, even on Pangeon, a little bit on that side. I want the extra warrior. I would like to maybe go warrior here, and then this guy can shift down a little bit. Yeah, once I grow, I'd like to grow in 1 turn, but unfortunately, it's kind of the importance of food. Can't do it any faster, so... See, I want to grow to size 4, and then I can whip a settler. I think that will be the fastest way to get it, I think, at this point. And once I get a chop, you need to get to 40 hammers before you can 2 population whip, because each population is worth 30 hammers when you use slavery, so... I guess I can just put some hammers into the Stonehenge. This is really for fail gold. I would not build Stonehenge in this situation, but if someone else builds Stonehenge, I will get 6 gold out of that. Although if I chop this, the gold goes into Stonehenge and not... Yeah, the timing's a little bit... I would like to start the settler now. Maybe I'll just put this hammer into the settler. So this is what I'll do. Thinking this is a good spot, but it's also... At least it is preventing quite a bit of... Maybe if I go there. If I go here though, then this tile's not fog busted, so that's dangerous. I think I'll just push out a little bit. Yeah, this fog busting is really important in the early game. And this guy can maybe do more exploration. I want to see what's down here. Yeah, I don't need to keep a... My happiness is fine, so I don't need to keep a city garrison yet. Cool, so I'll put the hammers into the settler. Okay. He's kind of a mixed bag. Definitely can backstab you and stuff. So now I could try to finish the settler, but the idea is I want to whip it at size 4. So now I'll put like 1 turn into Stonehenge. so I can, or 2 turns, so I can grow to size 4, and then, so you could calculate which is faster. If I just do this, it's 7. If I wait till I get to size 4, it's going to be 2 turns, right? And then 1 more turn to get from 30 to 40 hammers, because I need to get to 40. So that's 3, and then I whip, so that's 4. So it's a little bit faster, I think, if you whip. And I also have to remember to go into slavery, so I'll lose a turn here, but I have to do that. But even with that, it's faster to whip, I think. And I don't have a whole lot to do right now. I think I want to start roading in how many turns? Next turn, right? Yeah, I think I want to road, so I will just start a farm, which I'll probably never finish, but I'll just do that for 1 turn. And I want to build a road to here, which will help the settler get there faster, get a trade connection. I could also chop. Actually, don't know if that's the best. Looks like this might be the coast. We're on the south, right? Yeah, so 2 more turns. Maybe I should have chopped. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna chop. Yeah, because I can't road yet. I think I'm gonna chop, and that's gonna help. That's gonna help with the next worker, is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking I want to get a settler, and then soon after get a second worker, because I have some improvements I want to make, like build a gold mine and build roads and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so this might be a pretty good spot, but unfortunately this is kind of in the tundra, so I also would now like to know how close these guys are. But I think I have 3 cities. Hopefully there's some kind of food down here, like a deer, so I can get a 4th city, which is not a lot, but I think it might have to do a breakout. I'll see when I see if I have horses, maybe like a horse archers or something, if low on land. Because Pangea, you kind of have to fight for the land. So yeah, I think go animal husbandry. Okay. Animal husbandry, and then probably get a Holken after that. Yeah. So now I can whip the settler next turn. Yeah, so I can whip here. That's kind of the power of slavery. Yeah, I think I'll finish the chop. And I'll put the overflow into another worker. Maybe... Yeah, I feel like I want another worker. Another option is I could just build a road. Although I won't be able to finish the road, really. Yeah, either way, the settler is going to take 2 turns to get there. If I build 1 road, he will still take then half a turn. He still won't be able to. It'll take the same amount of time. So I'm going to chop. Yeah, this 1 turn here and there can make a difference, but I think I will chop. Feeling pretty secure. This would be a decent spot too, but this is the only food you'd have to share between the 2. Yeah, I think I'll put the extra hammers. I'll get... Oh, it's nice to get that second worker as soon as you can. I also would like to see, as I see, he's really close. That actually changes things. Yeah, so this is information that's... I really want to go here now. Because otherwise I'm just going to have 2 cities and then kind of scratching my head. Where do I go? And with 2 cities... You're not going to be able to do much. They're going to... You just don't have enough land. Yeah, I'm gonna go here, get the sheep. Although I'm a long way from, my plan of building a mine. If I go out here, the problem is I need to get another settler really quickly to get this. Less than 8 turns. So if I did this, 8. I guess I could chop one more settler here. I think I might have to do that. I haven't played a Pangea in a while, but it's kind of about the land grab. It's a little bit kind of, you just need to brute force, grab as much good land. Otherwise it's going to be tough. Yeah, so I'm going to go settler, which I don't usually do. And I will make one more chop to get the second settler faster. And the question is, do I want to go... So he must have gone in this tile. He's not allowed to settle here because it's on the boundary of my border, I believe. So he can't settle here. And he can't settle here because he's already settled really close. So he can't really get this unless he gets culture. So I should be able to get this third. But I do want to get a settler sooner, so I will go here. But I hope that I can still get that, because I don't have the animal husbandry yet. If I went here, I would at least want to have fishing so I can work the lake. Otherwise, it's not working any good tiles. So hopefully... maybe I should go worker settler. Yeah, I should probably go worker settler. Turn 34 is pretty early. They've gotten their second city. They'll get their third city within 10 turns, typically. I just don't want him to, like, go over here or something. Or, like, over here. And then I have to, like, fight to get the culture and all that crap. Okay, let's go worker settler. This worker can help chop another forest, which can help get the settler. And I think I'd again want to whip a settler at size 4, I want to say. Yeah, I hope this works out, but let's see. Yeah, in terms of city placement, this is kind of a thing I see newer players might want to, like, you always want to try to get the good tiles in the first ring of tiles. Otherwise you have to, like, get like a monument or something to improve that, and you generally don't want to be building monuments and stuff. 7 turns to animal husbandry. I'm thinking I'm just going to do another chop here. Over here. Wait. Maybe this guy can chop. Yeah, I guess I'll just start working on the gold mine. It will help. And this, I'll wait a turn so I can start improving the gold at least. Save a turn of maintenance. I'm just fog busting, but it's not very good. It's not very good because there's... I mean, I guess I could, like, build some farms and put a city down here, but it's not very great land. We're gonna need to probably fight for land this game. Okay, I just don't want him to, like, settle another city. Yeah, see, I forgot he's already, yeah, he's a creative civ, so he gets extra culture, and so every new city he gets a +2 culture, and that's why even if I was to go here, I would need to, I think, build a monument as soon as possible and try to get more culture back. Otherwise, I will get more culture because this is in my inner ring of the city, so I'll get more culture, and for the outer ring you'll get less culture, and that's kind of how it works. So I should be able to get this tile back, but it's not going to be that easy. But also, where am I going to go? Like, farm the wine, something? I don't know. It's kind of... I probably need to scout the north. Maybe there's another corn or something up there, but I think this guy will still chop, and I think I still have to go for that though. Otherwise I just don't have anything. Yeah, this guy's already... I'm on a hill, so I should be fine, but he should have less than 10% to win. But I could lose my city here, but I can't really... I could move my settler, see if he wins, and then wait a turn. That means I wouldn't lose a settler. But if he wins, then there's a warrior here and I can't get rid of him, so... And also if this warrior gets 25% plus 25 in the forest, but you also get additional 25 in the city, so it's the same. So I'll settle the city and hope I don't lose a... Let's maybe get another warrior just in case. I think this becomes... this will become a Hulken once I get hunting, which is okay. I think I'd want maybe one Hulken. Cool, so I'll build the mine. Hopefully that will help with the tech. I'm just at like 12 beakers right now, which is pretty poor. Yeah, let's just hope that I can win this. And he's fortified, so that's like 50% bonus. An additional 50%, or additional 25% being on a hill. Yeah, 25% I think. So that's pretty low chance that a warrior would take me out. And here I'm just trying to grow back to size 4 and then try to get this, I guess. It's kind of tough. Pangeas, you need to go fast. And now I can't even work this, which is kind of sad. Yeah, you could check the 0.9. Yeah, that was worth the risk. If somebody loses that, especially if you're learning the game, I don't fault anybody for reloading because it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm glad I got rid of him. Once the golds improve, I'll actually start working the gold until I can improve the pig, and then I'll try to grow again. So try to get to size 3 and just stay at size 3 in the city. Working the gold, that's because you only get 4 happiness in the early game, so I'll get unhappy if I grow anymore. I also don't have that many good tiles, so I don't know if I need so many warriors. Guess I'll do one more. Okay. What the hell happened? Okay, down here. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, see, they're starting to come. Stay here for... They generally won't come into your land until the average of the AIs and human have 3 cities. That's when the warriors will start coming in. But he could try to come in just like that. So maybe I'll just go back. Yeah, you gotta kind of deal with the barbs early game. Okay, this is looking okay. Yeah, he went away. I really want to know what's up there because I'm a little bit lacking in land. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'll put this hammer into the settler. Yeah, so now the settler can... And I again want to whip, I think, at size 4. So 20, get to 26. 5 more turns. Yeah, I think it's still faster too. I wonder if it's... If I chop one more time, it's like 5. It might be actually faster to chop one more time. No, I think I just have to... If I chop one more, it's like 1 turn to go in the forest, 3 turns. That's 4 turns. Which will give about 20 hammers, which is like a little bit more than 2 turns, so I'll sort of save 2 turns on this. 6 turns. But if I grow, I think I'll grow a little bit faster, right? 26. Yeah, I'll grow in about 4 turns. 4 to 5. I think it's better to grow. I think it's better to grow and whip the settler. Yeah, and I won't be able to get this till I get a monument, but I still think I want the city, and the earlier I start putting culture here, the better chance I have of keeping this city. But he's like, went right in my face. Yeah. Now that this is improved, I will do this until the pig is improved, and then I'll try to get to size 3. So it's okay to stagnate here. And while I stagnate, I think I'll build a worker, since I'm not growing anyways. And I don't need any more warriors. I think I'll just build a worker there. Yeah, it's a little bit lacking, and there's no food and stuff here. I'll build a farm, I'm thinking, because this city is going to need some kind of food until I get the sheep tile. Do I want to... Nah, I could build a road, but I think I'll just improve the food. Yeah, I think I'll just improve the food. And I want to think about granaries soon, because I have the gold city wants to grow eventually, and so does the capital, and I get cheap granaries. But now my tech is just boosted up. It's 20 commerce a turn. It's like double what I started. Just hope like a archer doesn't show up here. I should probably... This guy should probably like fog bust over here. Yeah, I need a Hulken now. Yeah, I have to wait a turn, so I'll build a road for 1 turn. I'll grow a little bit faster. If I do this, I'll grow 1 turn faster, which seems better.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
Thinking I could go hunting. Definitely would help. I think pottery I'll go a little bit later. But I was also thinking fishing. Fortunately, I don't have horses. That's unfortunate. So yeah, so it might be like a construction rush if I'm attacking somebody. That's most likely would be my strategy in this game. Is once I get like 3-4 cities up, just go for construction and kill somebody, get some more land. That's kind of, you kind of have to do it with this little land. So put some more fail gold into this. Still 4 turns. Yeah. So get a few more hammers for the fail gold. Hopefully he attacks me there. I think I will just stay here for now. I think I'll go hunting. Would like to work this fish, but I think let's defend ourselves. So I need to secure at least the little land I have. So I think I'll go hunting and then try to meet this warrior. I should have pretty good odds, although it's archer, but kind of a tough area to fog bust with all the tundra. Oh yeah, so I lost a guy there, but he's wounded. He probably won't come any further. Yeah, I have a good defensive position. It's like 75% bonus on the forested hill, so that's a good spot. Yeah, I can't grow any faster than 3. Actually, I can do this, right? Yeah, so here again, it's kind of, it might seem like a minor thing, but I'm still working just the gold until the pig's improved. Because then I'll rather, because I don't want to like not work this, but I also would like to get 2 gold mines up. So once this is 6, and once I can get this tile improved, I think that's around the time I'll try to grow to size 3, if that makes sense. Hopefully something like that. Yeah, he didn't attack. Okay, open borders, which is a good thing. So that means he went riding pretty early. It's a pretty early riding, turn 45. Yeah. It's even earlier than me, and I'm financial. So he's the first person to riding, looks like. Would need to start. I'm not going to really settle this though for a while, so I don't think I'm going to send another guy to scout. I think this guy can maybe go here. I need to fog bust a little bit more because... Okay. Yeah, and I think fishing, so I can work some of these commerce tiles. What else do I need? I really just need fishing, maybe, and then I think just go pottery writing, build my economy. Fishing is debatable. I could just go for pottery, build cottages. But these are just such, especially for this city, it would be nice to have, at least I can work these. It would make this city a lot less useless if I can at least do that. Yeah, I'll go fishing first. It's not the best fog busting position, but I don't have any good defensive positions down there. Yeah, so I still 1 turn. So yeah, next turn I will whip a settler. Or in 2 turns once I get... I think I want the hammers, right? I think I'll... That's 2 turns, 1 turn. Because I will need 11 hammers on the next. So I need a bit of overflow, if that makes sense. So I want something with... I'll only get 10. I'm like 1 hammer short. Then I can't grow. I have to get this. Yeah, this is 2 turns, so let's just do that. Let's get a Hulken for 1 turn. Thinking what I should be doing here. So I got the pig finished here. Yeah, so... So now I can grow in 2 turns, right, with this. So I think it would be a good thing to do this for 2 turns. So I can... I'm giving it up for 2 turns, but it means I'll be able to continue growing. And then work a second mine, so that's the idea. I could build a road here. Help the settler get here a little bit faster. I could maybe chop to get a monument. I think I'll just chop for a monument. So this one could at least get a very quick monument. Go for fishing. I stopped the worker because I want to grow, and then I'll start the worker again when Lakama is size 3. Okay. Okay, so now try to get the settler. Well, actually I will. It works out 20. I get exactly 11, so next turn I can whip the settler, which is very good. And I think just improve that. I'm definitely glad I had 2 workers. And soon I'll want another worker because I have cottages to build and stuff, and hopefully find a site for a 4th city. Which I'm not seeing anything that great, maybe just some spot down here, but could be like enough to get, you could whip an army doing that. It's got some forests. Yeah, definitely getting the settler. I'll save this forest so I can get the monument. I think that's the most important thing I need, is a monument there. Yeah. So I will save that for monument. And what? Maybe I shouldn't have gone fishing, I don't know. You generally don't want to build too many mines and stuff in the early game. You'd rather be working food. But I would like to like cottage this tile. This city can work these 2 tiles, maybe a farm to grow. Eventually this, I hope. This city is not connected yet, so I think a thing could be worthwhile is build a trade connection here. I'll also then be able to connect the gold. Oh shoot, okay. I'll be able to connect the gold, so that's +1 happiness, which is also really important. So I can grow to bigger size. Yeah, I think it's time for a Hulken. Yeah, nothing else, like none of the buildings make sense in the capital. And we'll go there. Yeah, I think just start roading over. Or maybe finish the mine. See, I'm going to grow in. This is like another, seems like a micro optimization, but I'm going to grow in 5 turns. And I would like to have a gold mine done in 5 turns. It will take only 4. I thought this was on a desert for something. Yeah, so this will only take 4, so I think you can finish that. And you can just try to connect the city for the happiness. And now they're starting to come. They're coming for us. This is when, like, the Hulken really shows its worth. I just... If I have to, I have a... I'm thinking I should retreat a little bit. I'd rather they try to go here or have, like, 2 defenders on the hill. Then I don't have to whip the Hulken, which I'd rather not do. See, I think I will try to get them to come in that direction. This guy can also retreat. Maybe I'll just retreat now. Then Hulken, I'll eventually get one, hopefully. Oh, did this settler go to the wrong place? I misclicked that. He's supposed to go there. Okay, I lost a turn there, but...
Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to
I think
fish,
pottery is the only thing that really makes sense. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop the video. I played 50 turns. It took an hour. It's a little long, but hopefully you got something out of this. I think I might make one more part to play to turn 100 something, maybe show an example of a construction rush, but I think this early game is the critical part, so hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks for watching.